Sometimes there is nothing such as bad publicity, especially when it is played well. This is certainly the case in mixed martial arts. One man who is leading the front here is Chael Sonnen. He has a character in mixed martial arts, something that the audience can buy into. A lot of fighters can take a leaf out of Chael Sonnen's book. He's not the best fighter in the world, but what he does offer is competitiveness and a mouthpiece. If you have a mouthpiece, you have to use it. It's about selling the fight. It's about giving out a character which the audience can believe in. Or if they don't believe in, they can hate you and still want to see you get beat. Thus, they buy the pay-per-view. This is all about the art of promotion, and Chael Sonnen plays it so well. Chael Sonnen is, of course, coming off a win against Wanderlei Silva in New York. He controlled the fight through his wrestling, and although Chael Sonnen is past his prime, he certainly is competitive in Bellator, and it was a smart move by him to go to Bellator as opposed to being in the UFC. He is more competitive in Bellator and has more chances of winning. Chael Sonnen could potentially fight Fedor, but he just got knocked out. So it's going to be interesting to see what Chael Sonnen's next move is. But whatever his next move is, he knows how to sell a fight. He puts out a character in the media which is entertaining. And this is what you need. Kevin Lee defeated Michael Chiesa in the lightweight division, and that was on a UFC Fight Night card, but fans were hyped for this event. And it started out in the press conference when Kevin Lee was talking a lot of trash to Michael Chiesa. But that's also how he is. And even if you're not a natural trash talker, the onus is on you to portray the modesty you have. It's not enough to be silent and just wait for the fight. If you have something to say to the media, say it. They want to hear a good grab. They want to hear you sell the fight. And that's what gets people excited. It's about the rivalry. And if there isn't a rivalry, the respect level between the two fighters. It's not enough just to shake hands and to stare down your opponent. No, you need to talk about the respect level you have for your opponent so people can understand the magnitude of the event. And even though mixed martial arts is a real sport, you can compare it to WWE. It's similar in how they promote things, because at the end of the day, there's not necessarily a scripted promo such as in WWE, but the best fighters typically entertain the fans. And if they don't entertain the fans, they at least have a character which the fans can hate. And at least Chael Sonnen understands the fight game. He understands that it's his obligation to fight when he has a date and he signs that contract, but he also knows it is essential to sell the fight to the public to get them interested. Because you can have the hardcore fans which were interested in Chael Sonnen and Wanderlei Silva, but to get the casual observer interested, you need to do more. And this is certainly something that fighters notice with Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali used to rhyme. He used to say a lot of things to his opponents, which got the fans excited because he wasn't just a fighter, he was a poet. And as well as a poet in motion, he was a poet with his words. And by that, he was a literal poet. He used to speak great poems. The fighters now understand that this fight game has to be sold. You have to get the fans invested. That's why there's a lot of public relations in the UFC. It's important. This Chael Sonnen and Wanderlei Silva fight was already sold before the promotions began for this Bellator match, because they had a story in the UFC. The story was already there, but it was escalated because of Chael Sonnen's ability to play the bad guy.